All right. Welcome back. Boys, we're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl.
I
We
can't.
all knew it was coming. Let's not act surprised, boys.
Oh,
I don't know what else to say besides we're going to the Super Bowl. Brody, how are you
The
feeling?
Seahawks haven't
that?
lost since this podcast has started. Do you understand that we've won 9 in a row? We started this podcast a little bit into the win streak. They have not lost. This is insane.
So you're saying we're the reason they're the Super Bowl?
There's no reason why we don't have free tickets to the game. There's no
Right.
excuse.
Right.
Someone shoot
Unless
a
we're
DM.
just a
Someone
crack
shoot
and
a
curse
message.
instead of a Seahawk praise. I mean, I don't know. So
I don't care what the reason is. I want free tickets to the Super Bowl. So someone make that happen. We're the only reason why. There's no players, coaches, or anyone that is involved. We are the reason that we are going to the Super Bowl.
let's
How
go.
does that
anyway.
work, by the way? Wait, real quick. How does that work? So it's in San Francisco. Does it does each fan base get like a section of tickets that they can purchase, like specifically for them?
No,
or just kind of
yeah,
first
I'm
serve?
not sure. I
Because
obviously
all the
a
Niner
lot of it is
fans.
corporate, like up top, and then I think it trickles down. I don't know how many tickets like players and coaches get, so it's like you don't know there also. I don't know how many people want to go to the Super Bowl if it's by that electronic substation. You're not
No.
going to want to. No, I'm not even going to want to go get close there. I'm going to start being filled with excuses and regrets.
If the Seahawks have to practice near that thing, this is all rigged. This is all BS. NFL is scripted. I'm done watching.
The only substation the Niners practiced against was fucking Subway, them fat fucks. It's just, there's no fucking electronic substation. It's just, they're the excusers. They're not the 49ers. They're just the fucking whiners.
I feel like that's what I'm saying though. Is I feel like a lot of those tickets are gonna be just like hate watching Niner fans. Just like,
I
"Oh,
doubt
dude."
that. I doubt the 49er fans show up to the Super Bowl.
Imagine them 49ers fans so sad after all that's gone on that they buy a $4,000 ticket to hate watch and then we just blow out the Patriots. That'd be crazy.
That's so
Could be.
painful, dude. Like, imagine being a Niners fan so excited to hate watch, and then you're like, no Chiefs. Like, I can just root for the end of the. It's the Patriots. Like, bro, come on,
Right.
are you serious? All of this.
Yeah, I've been hearing things that's like, oh, well, Seattle is Vegas's team, but the Patriots are America's team. When have the Patriots ever been America's team? I'm serious. No Patriots slander going into the Super Bowl. I respect them as an opponent, but seriously, when has the public
the
rooted
Patriots
for the
have not been America's team since the Revolutionary War. That's the answer to that
Exactly.
question, Fatty.
Exactly. There's
I
just
feel like
no.
only-
I
I
just
feel like
don't
only-
get that.
I feel like people that have watched football 2020 and beyond have that opinion. Like anyone who's been watching football for at least 10 years hates the Patriots. Still.
Seahawk hate at this point is so forced. Like seriously, why do you hate the Seahawks? Unless you're
Unless
the
you're
Niners
NFC
and the
West
Rams?
rival. That's the
No,
only, that's
I
the
will
only
say.
real
Okay,
excuse.
here is why you can hate the
Broncos fan.
Seahawks. If you're a Vikings fan because you're mad at yourself, you can hate the Seahawks. Hate watching.
Yeah, that's
the
not
Seahawks.
our fault though.
But
Don't get mad at us.
you can,
That's more like be mad at yourself. We didn't do anything. You guys
see,
let
but
him walk.
that's a valid reason to hate watch because I would,
Okay.
hate us because they ain't us.
That's crazy.
Jets,
I wouldn't do that.
kind of any team that had Sam Darnold and you're now watching him flourish with us.
No,
I
the
respect
Jets
you
are
hating
the
us.
Jets are definitely not hate
Yeah,
watching.
the
because
Jets are not
Patriots
hated
win the
watching
Bowl.
because we're saving them from another Patriots Super Bowl. I'll agree with that.
For sure.
Right. So
I feel like the only valid Seahawk haters are NFC West rivals and the Broncos. I feel like that's it. Only 4 teams.
Did you see?
Yeah,
Other
I
than that,
just
it's
don't
so
get it.
forced.
I just am like, who cares? Like, how do you hate the Seahawks? We are easily one of the most marketable teams in the NFL all season. We've had freaking 4, 5, 6 primetime games where we have shown out in these awesome games. Meanwhile, you look over the AFC West, it's like, AFC West, the AFC Championship. It's like, woo, it's a snow globe, and they look like shit. It was terrible. Then we did it again. Thursday Night Football, we did it again. Monday night or Saturday Night Football, belt to ass. Divisional round, belt to ass. What more can we do besides
we're
win the
just
Super Bowl?
entertaining, dude. For the general audience, we're just entertaining, and then at the same time, I feel like we have the NFL's one of the best storylines, like Sam Darnold's career arc coming full circle against the
and
Patriots,
it's
where he
like,
saw
if
ghosts.
we win, can we be done with that going into next season?
I feel like it has to be
It's
done
already
now.
It's
He
done.
balled out. Like he balled
Yeah.
out last game.
I've
Like,
won
you have to
one
have a
done
cataclysmic
5 weeks
Super
ago.
You
Sam
have to have
Darnold.
an absolute horrible Super Bowl performance for that to come back.
Sam Darnold is known as a playoff choker, and he outplayed one of the most clutch players supposedly like in NFL history, and Matt Stafford. Like that narrative is dead.
The only thing
Done.
that's like hanging on by like a thread is like, well, Sam Darnold saw ghosts against the Patriots, so now he plays the Patriots in the Super Bowl. So if he plays terrible, then he's Sam Darnold, as Skip
And
Bayless
then
always says.
if we win the Super Bowl,
Wait,
or actually,
wait, real
whoever
quick,
wins
real
the
quick.
Super Bowl, whoever wins the Super Bowl, everyone's gonna be like, it was a fluke year, though. It was a fluke year. I mean, the Patriots.
I don't know if
made
they
it
will
way
for
too-
us.
Yeah.
Patriots warranted. I don't know
I
if they
feel
will
like
for
we've
us.
stomped everybody so bad and then hung 30 on the Rams, where it's like I don't think you could call it a fluke at that point. Also, it's funny that Sam Darnold's biggest hater was Skip Bayless, and then after the game, he uploads an 18-minute,
18 minutes, dude.
Twitter video. 18-minute Twitter video, just talking straight to the camera. It's like, like how boomers have the camera all the way up at their face. 18 minutes of that, just, I'm sorry, Sam Darnold. I called you Sam Darnold, and I shouldn't have. It's like, all right, Grandpa.
Okay, well, let's get into breaking down this game, which I felt like I watched 3 different games in 3 different hours. I mean, coming into the game, it seemed like everything was going good. The injury bug kind of faded away. Charles Cross was active. Sam Darnold looked a little hurt out there, but he ended up, really powering through and had a great game. But started off, you had Cam Chancellor out there. You had Richard Sherman hyping up the crowd. You had Jody Allen raising the flag. It was another sold out, just absolute crowd. Not a Rams fan in sight, by the way. I saw maybe 2.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying the week before. I'm like, there's maybe 30 Ram fans in existence. I think it's going to be all Pat Seahawks. Honestly.
We win the toss, which I think was pivotal. The defense, for one of the seldom times, showed up, and it was a quick 3 and out. We get down there. It was the Kenneth Walker show. It was like opening script.
Again,
Kenneth, you're getting this pill. And then all of a sudden it was done. They were like, no more Kenneth Walker. And so we jump out to an early lead. And it's just like, from that point on, we were in control the entire time. We only trailed once for like 4 minutes. And the only reason this was close is because we killed ourselves multiple times during this game.
one time maybe a little more than the rest, but yeah, we'll get to that later.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I mean, it got to the point where for a part of me thought that first drive we scored a touchdown. I go, is this another 41-6? I'm not going to. Is this another 41-6 game? But Kenneth Walker, man, it's tough for him. He definitely does need a Charbonnet to balance him out a little bit, just because I feel like fatigue-wise and just the style and progression of our run game, it's not our strongest attribute, and it just sucks that Sharb was hurt. I feel like if Sharb was healthy, I'm going to sound like a 49er fan. I feel like if X, Y, and Z were healthy, it'd be a whole different game, but it really does change. Our run game was very one-dimensional, but Kenneth took a huge part of the workload and really made a difference as much as he could. That being said, the game was kind of back and forth. Then the Rams went on this drive that rage baited me. We were up 7-6, and they drove from the 10-yard line all the way down, wide open touchdown. They ran the ball 7 times and just gashed us. I'm always the one to advocate show after show after show. Oh, the Seahawks haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher in 27 games. Well, make it 28. But anyway, they were fucking just running down our throats, and I was getting pissed.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like when the Rams play against the Seahawks, and they do this in a lot of other games as well, they know that Mike likes to run on a nickel because it feels like if you can stop the run out of that personnel, it makes defending the pass a whole lot easier. So they really made it a point to try and establish the ground game, and they finally did. Blake Corum got a lot of carries. He looked good. Kyron Williams, not the most efficient, but he looked good. So that was a problem for us, man. And honestly, I would say most of the game, their offense was pretty unstoppable. But yet again, as the Seahawks do, when it really, really counts the most, the Seahawks strapped up, got that stop on 4th down. Devon Witherspoon gets the pass breakup. And, as much as they can have 450 total yards of offense and 4 touchdowns total, if they can't, convert on the biggest plays, then what does it really matter? What does it really matter? And we saw that in the game. I mean, I would rather take us getting gashed like that and clamp up and win the game than stopping them and being in a hell game like the first game. To me, I mean, we'll talk about Sam Darnold a lot, but I think this game for me was the story on the offense. Aside from Darnold, for me was JSN. Like I think today JSN, or not today, but I think against the Rams, JSN proved that he's the best receiver in the NFL. I mean, what is JSN not elite at? Seriously, can you pick an aspect of a receiver's game that he's not elite at? Route running at all three levels, he's the best in the NFL. Hands, arguably the best in the NFL. Spectacular catches, makes them once every single week at least. Like he can beat you for speed now. Like he can after the catch, one move, and he's one of the most agile players in the league as well. And his strength is underrated. Like JSN's not just like a weakling, like he's broken tackles, he's stiff armed people. Like he's the most well-rounded receiver in the league. Like you could argue Puka, but I think Jason just proved that he's just that guy. He's the best receiver in the NFL, and he gave that secondary hell. And man, that's my takeaway from the offense, other than of course Sam Darnold having a fantastic game.
Yeah,
I feel like JSN is like the king of the guy where like you watch the player, like how did he manage to get that wide open? Like how did he manage to find that much space? It blows my mind. And like the ways that he does it is different every time, where it's not like which he does a lot, he just burns some of his route running, but he just finds a way to find like the soft gaps in the coverage where I'm like, dude, that this ball is going to go to JSN. How does he have 15 yards in every direction right now? And he's the master at that.
It also doesn't matter which angle he has to contort his body to catch the ball. His body control is the best in the league. It doesn't matter if he's going up like this, reaching out like that, jumping up, catching underhanded passes. Like he could probably do a 360 catch if he wanted to. Like his body control is out of this world. It's
the spacing ability too. The ability, like you guys said, just to run down the field, whether it's short yardage, medium yardage, or going deep. Being able to get that separation and just have open field in front of him and to the sides. He works the sidelines so good. He's a great yards after catch guy. And it's just an X factor to have in a rather lackluster, receiving room. You hit Rashid Shaheed once on that first drive. Cinema, 51 yards. Then he's just done. He's just done. I don't know if we're not utilizing him enough. He's not getting open enough. But then we have Kenneth Walker in the passing game.
Kevin Walker. Let's go.
49 yards. But then Cooper Kupp making the clutch short yardage catches. But other than that, it's like, that's it. Jake Bobo caught a great pass. But really, it's just the usage rate on JSN is so high. But at the same time, I want to see some other guys step up and take. We targeted JSN 12 times. He caught it 10 times. That's ridiculous. And he was 153 yards of our 346 yards passing. It's absolutely surreal. He is such an X factor. His one-handed catch in the red zone to keep our drive going. There was just so many times this offense was able to just hang in there with the best offense in the NFL. And that has been something that even us on this podcast have doubted time and time and again. Can we prove to be mistake-free and consistently keep going? I'm going to say it 4 weeks ago, this was not the offense. We only scored 13 points against the Niners, man. That offense would not have won this game. We took strides and we have progressively gotten better and better. Clint Kubiak, if this is it, if this is the last Clint Kubiak play calling game, bravo. And if he is truly the reason why we are now Super Bowl contenders, what a turnaround. First year as the play caller here. He's had some experience before, but this offense proved just to hang in there in a really tightly contested game.
It proved again too, like we talked about it in weeks past. It's just another example the Seahawks can win any type of game. Like there is not a game that we get into where the Seahawks are not favored in. It wants to be a defensive grudge match. Our defense will step up. It wants to be a barn burner like last game. Like, dude, we can literally play any way you want and we will beat you comfortably in that way, no matter what the game is.
Yeah, that was probably the last. Like, if you had any questions about the Seahawks, that was probably the last question. Was okay. We've seen you put up 25, 30, 35 points on offense against some of these lackluster teams, but you haven't quite yet done that against one of the best teams in the league. And we did that. We showed that, hey, even if the defense is not, particularly stepping up, which technically speaking, the Rams offense averages 30 and they scored 27. So technically we shut them down. But if you had, that was the last remaining question. Sam Darnold silenced every single critic. I mean, if you had any sort of last criticism about Sam Darnold, it's done now. It's just so done. It's so like that gimmick is so old. And like Sam Darnold, 340 some yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, played flawless, played poised, was reading the field super, super well, didn't really put the ball in harm's way at all, made a lot of throws under pressure where normally, he'll throw that into contested coverage or it'll be incredibly inaccurate or something. Just absolutely calm as you could be under pressure. And that's exactly what elite quarterbacks do. I'm not saying Sam Darnold's up there with the elite guys, right? But he showed elite stuff in that game. He really did. One of the best QBs in the league, band for band, arguably outplayed Matt Stafford. Maybe you could say Matt Stafford had more high-end throws, but Sam Darnold in the short intermediate game was flawless. Yep. And with this kind of team, that's all you really need to be. Completely accurate, short, intermediate, and then you can make those deep bombs when you need to, which he was on the money again today. Sam Darnold's the guy. I mean, regardless of how he plays in the Super Bowl, and I'm not going to just sit here and be like, it's just the Super Bowls. The Rams was just the Super Bowl. This is just whatever game. He still needs to perform, obviously. We still got the big game, right? But I think Sam Darnold just proved that he's the guy, he's the answer, and we got him locked down for 2 more years. And, if he keeps this play up, it'll be several years after that. I think Sam's proven himself as the guy. I don't think there's any more doubts. I don't see how you could have any more doubts.
Dude, I saw a TikTok like 10 minutes before we started filming. It pissed me off. And it was, Sam Darnold is so overrated. Let me prove to you why. And it goes, look at his receiver room. JSN, Cooper Kupp, Rashid Shaheed. And I was like, all right, so let's rewind to before the season started. I think outside Seahawks fans, JSN was not getting the recognition that he's getting anywhere close to now.
No.
Cooper Kupp.
That makes sense.
Was he not sent off from the Rams? Rams telling him to retire like he was washed?
Yep.
Yeah.
Rashid Shaheed, like,
not a Seahawk.
Like
Rashid
okay.
Shaheed was not a Seahawk.
Yeah, Torrey Horton, 5th round rookie.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay. So I feel like there's a, kind of a link between Darnold playing good, them okay. And then they're like, running back room, Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker is like, again, Kenneth Walker was hurt all the time before this year. I feel like once again, outside Seahawks fans, what fan base is like, dude, running back duo of the league, Sharp and Kenneth Walker. No, that just wasn't a thing. And then he was talking about elite defense. Okay, kind of fair, but still, it's like, dude, no. All of these things got better linked directly with Sam Darnold coming to the Seahawks. All of these insane players. It's not like people were saying these type of things about us last year. We didn't make the playoffs last year. Like, what are you talking about?
And that being said, too, it's not just Sam Darnold elevating, Torrey Horton's not a scrub. Rashid Shaheed's not a scrub, but it's just the fact that people fail to realize the fact that this team plays for each other. Everybody's making everybody better. JSN's making Sam Darnold extremely better, but he also has to throw it to get to him. I mean, Rashid Shaheed making plays on special teams, Cooper Kupp, and making those crucial catches. It's just like, it's not really what you see in the traditional NFL of like, oh, the claim was, oh, he doesn't have Justin Jefferson anymore, he's gonna struggle, JSN's not that guy. All of a sudden now it's, oh, Sam Darnold needed JSN to get to the Super Bowl or to get to his first playoff win. And that's just the crazy narrative. But
it's more like, how about they're just, just real quick, it's more like, how about they're just like one of the best QB wide receiver combinations in the league? Like maybe they're just both really fucking
How about
good
that?
and make each
How
other
about
better.
that?
Maybe it's not one dude carrying the other. Maybe
because JSN's the top 3 receiver.
Maybe JSN's the best receiver in the league, and Sam Darnold is the top 10 quarterback who has high end plays consistently. That could be the case.
I've never seen a QB
in
the
NFL.
NFL
The Seahawks fans know. Apparently, we try to tell you guys. We try to tell everybody the Seahawks team's different this year. Like, we'll at least go 11-6. We'll make the playoffs. And it's like, no, you guys suck. You lost DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. You guys lost Geno Smith. You guys are going to be 7-10, 8-9. Like, I love how, and J. Ross points this out. People just love to rewrite narratives. as if like the narrative coming into the season wasn't all the Seahawks are cooked. Like they lost Gino,
Right.
DK, Tyler. So many changes are happening. Like, bro, that the narrative was that the Seahawks were supposed to suck. Now we're in the Super Bowl. That's it. Like, there's no other narrative. That's just crazy. People just want to rewrite history. It's
and
wild.
here's another thing that I mean, Mike Macdonald. We can talk about him over and over and different things, this and that. Definitely coach of the year, in my opinion. But he installed a culture in 2 years. And the biggest thing for me is I'm looking at this team box score right now, just team stats. In the red zone, we were 4 for 5. 4 for 5 in the red zone. I don't care if that's Sam Darnold instead of Gino, and I don't care if it's Clint Kubiak before terrorist Ryan Grubb. I don't care. This is championship football. It's freaking executing in the red zone, and that is something the Seahawks haven't done in 5-6 years. So it's just absolutely crazy. The Rams' third down efficiency, 1 for 8. Us, 7 for 13. And you think, oh, okay, well, we probably ran the ball with Kenneth Walker. We had 19 passing first downs as opposed to 4 rushing first downs. This is crazy. We put the fucking playbook on Sam Darnold's back, and he took this offense and consistently scored 10 points, 7 points, 14 points. In that fourth quarter, it was a stalemate at that point. Both teams were out of gas. It was just amazing work. Near flawless, but it's just, this is an offense to complement. Sam Darnold said, you know what, guys, this defense has picked me up. I threw 4 picks and we almost won that damn game. This is my turn. I'm going to pick you guys up because clearly the defense, oh man, that was tough to watch at times.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, if you wanted just one clear illustration about if you just want to know, is Sam Darnold that valuable to the Seahawks offense? And I'm going to say the nicest thing that anybody here has to say about Geno Smith. He was solid, in my opinion, in his time in Seattle. A lot of mistakes, a lot of turnovers, right? But overall, I think he was solid. And I think the Raiders have probably the worst supporting cast in the NFL when you combine just play caller, line, weapons, all that stuff. That being said, the Raiders are picking first overall.
Yeah.
And the Seahawks are in the Super Bowl. So if you want to know like how much of a difference, how valuable Sam Darnold really is, that's all you need to see. The quarterback change. And yes, Clint Kubiak's, levels above Ryan Grubb, of course. But, Sam Darnold, like, bro, he's not along for the ride. Sam Darnold's shown that he can pick up the slack of the defense too. And like you said, Fatty, this team is so bought in. Everyone is so bought in. There's
I don't even
want
I don't want to hear the freaking storylines of, oh, poor me, freaking Minnesota Vikings. This was supposed to be us. You didn't have the dark side, dude. You didn't have Kenneth Walker. You had Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen as your WR2. So don't act like we're the same damn team and you just got unlucky in a playoff game. You went on the road and got freaking creamed. I mean, seriously.
You guys also didn't get unlucky. You had Sam Darnold. You let him walk.
And you had Clint Kubiak. You had Clint Kubiak.
Yeah, exactly. You let both of them go. You decided to give a chance on 9 because you spent whatever.
You sat in a room and you saw Sam Darnold on your left and 9 on your right, and you walked to the right. Are you serious right now? Like, are we serious right now?
I think that's just going to be a lesson for teams in the future. Like, yeah, I know, maybe we sunk a 10th overall pick in a quarterback, but if we've got a guy who's given us 14 fucking wins. I mean, first of all, that wasn't all Sam Darnold too. Like any Vikings fan can actually tell you,
right?
Especially with hindsight 2020, that offensive line was terrible. They lost Christian Darrisaw, who was, he's like the Charles Cross of the Vikings, and from there it just went downhill. But a team that wins 14 games, why would you be like maybe we could win 15?
Well,
McCarthy. That's just crazy.
The reason the Vikings fucked themselves is this. They had Sam Darnold. They had J.J. McCarthy. Obviously, they wanted to invest in J.J. McCarthy. I don't think that was a bad decision. I didn't think maybe they thought that lightning couldn't strike twice with Darnold. They peaked at Darnold. What they should have done is they should have kept Daniel Jones because clearly, as you saw, Daniel Jones was able to quarterback his way to a pretty productive season pre-injury. So, I mean, it's just like, And then when we signed Sam Darnold, the argument was, is he an upgrade over Geno? And even me, a Sam Darnold advocate and a Geno Smith hater, I couldn't sell myself saying, okay, he's leaps and bounds better than Geno. I was telling myself that, but I couldn't prove it statistically. And it's just like, it's all about culture. It's all about coaching. And they didn't have the dark side. this defense is the reason Seattle is in the Super Bowl, and it's acknowledged. But at this juncture, this defense did not win this game alone. It took the offense. It took the special teams recovering the fumble. Derek Young finally figured out how to stand in fucking front of the guy instead of just standing. There was 2 fumbles on the punt. He was just like, oh, wow, you fumbled the first time. And then I felt bad for the guy. He fell down that second time. I was like, oh, man, I don't like the Rams, but, dude, man, that fucking sucks.
As a human being,
finally, Derek Young figured out. He had a fucking brain.
Dude, the first one, he literally, it looked like he was like lagging because when they fumbled the kick, he's literally like standing on the right of him. He's like, oh, like waited.
Yeah.
It was like, bro, what are we doing?
So
you know what I loved about this game, though? What I loved about this game is the first game. Yeah, we lost by 2 points, and there was just that kind of like, what if we didn't turn the ball over? You know, we could have beat them if we didn't have 4 picks. And then the second game's like, yeah, you won, but I mean, bogus, weird. Like no one could have predicted that 2-point conversion play. You know, kind of lucky. This game, nothing. There's nothing you could say about this game where like the Seahawks are actually frauds and this and this happens. Like bad people like to point out bad calls. Okay, first of all, you could very much so argue in a playoff, in a championship game, you're chirping a little at your NFC West rivals on the sideline. You could argue that's a soft taunting call. Granted, Tariq Woolen is an idiot, shouldn't have done that. But at the same time, you could argue that was soft. There's a pass interference on Rashid Shaheed. Yes, that ball was catchable. It fucking hits his hands as he's falling over. Pushed right before that. There's several calls, and I'm just missing a lot of calls. But you can't tell me that this was all just one-sided affair. Rams are getting screwed.
Yeah, there was some hoopla. I'm not gonna lie. There was,
but also
I don't.
The call online that everyone's complaining about.
Sorry, go ahead.
The call online that everyone's complaining about is that Cooper Kupp first down. Like that was the first thing I saw when I was watching videos after. And it's like, dude, okay, yeah, maybe it wasn't a first down. Sean McVay, why'd you call a timeout? That was on you, bub. Challenge that, and maybe it gets overturned. You're the one that shot yourself in the foot and burned a timeout and then couldn't challenge it. Like, yeah, okay, it's a very close call, but you had the ability to make the ref look at it again, and you're the one that made the wrong decision in the moment.
Yeah, and by the way, we're complaining about centimeters, literal maybe a centimeter or 2. That's what we're complaining about, really, because what likely happens is the call's like too close to overturn. But let's just say it goes in the favor of the Rams. It's 4th and centimeters, bro. I'm gonna be so real. Mike's
welcome to the barnyard.
The barnyard's out there. They're either jumping or they're getting a centimeter. Like
I don't know.
I am so convinced there is no way you punt the ball right there when you have successfully, probably over 90% of the time, picked up 1 yard and you're asking for centimeters. Like realistically, what happens is it goes to 4th and inches, and the barnyard gets us over. It's a first down. Game ends the same way. Like that's what we're gonna really complain about, really.
Also, we wouldn't even be in that situation because the play calling to really close that last offensive drive out, it showed our weak point, and that's we just did not have a power rusher. If we had Sharp, we're punching that ball all the way down the field and kneeing it. That's exactly what I wanted. But because Kenneth Walker and my God, George Halani, I hyped you up, man. You're garbage.
Dude, it just like, and you know what's crazy, because in preseason he looked like he could legit be a starting running back in the league. It just shows you levels. I'm glad people got to see the levels here. And shout out to Zach Charbonnet, because obviously a major injury for him, kind of an afterthought in this game, but it really just showed how important Zach Charbonnet is to this team. Like he's like, as much as he's like the Ricky Pearsall for the Seahawks, but like actually he matters, you know?
Yeah.
Like Niner fans were like, Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah. What an insult that is.
Bro, but no, he's
Zach
like
Charbonnet, you are Ricky Pearsall.
Like he's like what Niners fans hype up Ricky Pearsall to be, you know?
Yeah.
Like they say, oh, Ricky Pearsall could go for 100 against the dark side, blah, blah, blah. Like Zach Charbonnet could legitimately in any given game go for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like he actually is very, very important. And he's the dude that, you know, in these games when you want to close the game out and just hammer, pick up 4 or 5 yards, like that's him. That's his role. And we were just relying on Kenneth, which fair play, Kenneth, you know, did that as good as he can for his size. But like over the course of his whole season, his body ain't gonna hold up like that, and he's not gonna be able to create as many explosives as he, you know, did in the playoffs.
I'm excited for these 2 weeks because I seriously want Mike to look at Cam, Velas, and George Holani and say, guys, it's up for grabs. Who is going to
Oh,
step up and
shit.
be this RB2 here? Because, fuck, it was so bad. It was so bad. He had 3 rushes for 4 yards.
Get beast. I'd rather see beast mode at this point. George Holani.
Dude, and I got to give him some slack because he was coming back from injury, but it's just like,
It was bad.
How much of a they weren't even giving him the ball.
And also at the same time, like Holani right off an injury is the guy getting the job. So Velus Jones, Cam Akers, what the fuck, dude? Like
what are you doing?
This guy's been hurt forever. He's not even an NFL really caliber running back in general, and you guys are stuck behind him. Like that's kind of crazy, bro. Like one of you 3, like you said, needs to pick it up.
Yeah, but
Cam Akers anytime touchdown did not hit, fellas. Did
it
not
could in
hit.
the Super Bowl.
Now
could
he
have
changed.
blown him out.
Now he changed.
Your mic just totally fucking died.
That was crazy.
All right. Well, let's address a few things about the defense. And before we get breaking down to it, let's address the elephant in the room. Tariq Woolen was almost on terrorist watch. He was almost on terrorist watch.
Yeah, he's still on terrorist watch, in my opinion.
Not only missing the interception, but getting a clutch stop, jawing at the Rams. Was it a soft call? Yes. What is he doing?
Still
Also,
don't do it.
yes.
Just don't do it.
Costing them 15 yards. Mastermind Sean McVay goes, we're just going to throw right back at him, and getting burnt by Puka Nacua for an instant touchdown, changing the point swing from 11 points to then just 4. My brother in Christ, what are you doing? I mean, out of all my years of football, I've never seen something so stupid in such a pivotal time. And we threw a pick at the 1 yard line. I mean, we're going to talk about
I'm a Seahawks fan. It's crazy.
I said, if we're going to lose the NFC Championship at home because of this shit, I will be in agony for the entire offseason. Just unbelievable shit.
It is like, I don't want to be dramatic, but it is like a cuttable offense. It is like an offense where, dude, you're not getting re-signed. Talk about the most selfish thing you could do in that moment for a team that is so hell-bent on just being bought in. All 3 phases, just 100% committed to the team. No egos, no selfishness. I mean, like, if anyone had, like, for example, just in general, if anyone has the capacity or whatever to have an ego, it should be JSN. Like games where JSN has 20 yards, like he has a right to be mad, but he's not mad. He's happy because the team fucking wins the game. Like that's how bought in this team is. And for you to just be so selfish to be like, yeah, I fucking finally made a play this game and just completely forget about the mission, get way caught up in some bullshit and then almost cost your team the game. I will say, like, everybody does make mistakes. And, in the moment, it's hard to see that and be like, okay, this is a lesson that he can learn, right? But at the same time, it's like, dude, like stuff like that. Like I know you got away with it, but man, like if you're talking about re-signing him for a contract, it's like, bro.
One thing that I will say,
do stupid shit all the time. I know this is probably the first time I've seen him get a penalty for talking shit, but he also makes a lot of boneheaded mistakes. He has throughout the last couple of years. Whether it's just personal conduct or just actual play on the field. But this to me is to the point where it's like almost like Nuhu for the Sounders, where it's like, bro,
what a comp.
I can't keep defending you, man. I can't keep defending you. The behavior's got to stop. It's got to stop.
But I will say, going back to like the culture we talked about earlier, what did McDonald do after that? Like once he got back on defense, he put him right back out there. And did he get cooked the rest of the game?
Not really. Besides play after, no, I wouldn't say so. But
exactly, and so that kind of shows. That shows what this team's all about, right? Like, literally the biggest mistake of the season, and coach immediately puts you back out next series.
Well, that's great and all because we won, but that philosophy is going out the window if we lost.
I think it is. I think honestly, I think that is the best. I agree with J-Ross there. I think that is the best move that you can do in that moment because if you take him out and bench him, like you can argue, of course, you could say he deserves it, and no one could bat an eye. If he benches Tariq Woolen, it's like, yeah, I mean, what do you expect from him? But to like really be like, hey, dude, you made a bad mistake, learn from it. We put my trust back in you. As a player, that must be so like uplifting because you already know he's fucking embarrassed, right? Damn, I cost my team a huge fourth down. We probably would have closed the game out comfortably. Then I give up a 50-yard on a double move from Puka Nacua. Wow, like I could not. Everyone in the crowd fucking hates me. You could not be more down the dumps. So for Mike to pick him back up like that, like that's just why he's one of the best coaches in the league, and he's a better man than all three of us. Because I bet you in that moment, all of us were like, "Fuck Tariq Woolen, get off my team." Like that's why Mike is the kind of guy he is, because he just brings him right back in the fold.
Yeah.
And I know it looked like the guys were chirping at Tariq, like Nick and Manowari, which by the way is crazy. A rookie having to like straighten your cap, that's kind of crazy, bro. A rookie to be like, "Yeah, dude, I'm 21 years old, and I can tell you that I can see that that's a stupid thing to do. Just completely let a selfish moment take over." But just like I said, I think I do agree with J. Ross. I think that is the right move to put him back in the game, and it worked out. But as far as the long-term contract, we'll see how the Super Bowl goes.
I think the Super Bowl is big for him because I think if they win the Super Bowl and he has a good game and McDonald likes the guy, I think 100% he'll still come back. But it's crazy how much on a knife's edge. If we would have lost that game, he would have been the most hated guy in town.
Dude.
It would have been.
He is lucky. Don't get it twisted. He's lucky we won the fucking game. He's lucky we won the game. But
and I think too, we can talk about it when the offseason rolls around, regardless if we win the Super Bowl or not. Tariq Woolen was a Pete guy, and he was a hidden gem for Pete. It was great. Should have won Defensive Rookie of the Year a couple of years ago. But I think this offseason, it was close.
I know, but Sauce Gardner that year is.
Yeah, it was close. But the thing about it is it's like this offseason, we're slowly seeing like how many more Pete guys are hanging around. Kobe Bryant, probably not. Tariq Woolen, maybe. I just feel like Tariq Woolen's going to get a lot more money on the market from a struggling team needing a cornerback one. And he is a cornerback one in a struggling defense. He's a fantastic corner. Sure. Does he make undisciplined technical mistakes like the illegal hands of the face we've been putting up with for 4 years? Yes. And then the taunting is just another thing, is just keeping our composure. And the margin for error was so slim for this game. It's just, why would you do that? I'm not going to lie. I was sober. I don't drink during Seahawks games, but I did mentally black out. I was 6 inches away from my television, and I still couldn't get over it the next possession. So it was rough.
Yeah, if a team wants to pay him $20 million a year, it'd be their quarterback one. Then I'll see you later, man. I don't. I can't tell you. I feel like that's not like I feel like some sort of team would pay that to have him be their quarterback, especially if they win the Super Bowl. It's like I got a starting cornerback.
It's the Byron Maxwell to the Eagles contract. It's gonna happen. Dude, it's gonna happen.
Except freaking idiot.
But the other thing about this that let me down is the freaking defensive line. I always advocate that there was 3 Pro Bowlers on the defensive line because Byron Murphy got snubbed, but there was definitely it's a two Pro Bowl, almost all pro defensive line. They were gone. They were extinct. In the run game, they were terrible. We got 1 sack. It's just why this team is built so frustrating on the defensive line, because it's great run stopping, and that's what Mike McDonald wants. But why do we have power of friendship defensive ends in Derek Hall and in Uchenna Nwosu? Could you imagine if we had a high motor guy like Max Crosby or that's the first guy that came to mind, but like a Myles Garrett or anything like that? Could you imagine if we could actually get back to the quarterback? Because that's going to be a huge thing against Drake May, is being able to pressure him out of the pocket. But seriously, it is so frustrating that Matt Stafford had so much time to survey the field. He even ran on DeMarcus Lawrence like he was Lamar Jackson.
He broke a tackle.
Seriously, it was
that was crazy.
That was crazy.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the Patriots, later. But I will say that DeMarcus Lawrence, when I saw Stafford break that tackle, I screamed, "DeMarcus!"
I cried.
He's had a great year.
And I will say, like, just to give some sort of, like, playing against, first of all, the Rams are one of, if not the best running team in the NFL. Not only that, they played so heavy, 3 tight end sets constantly. With the way Mike McDonald likes to play defense, like, it is tough. It is a mismatch personnel-wise. So I will give him that. But the pass rush thing is so completely valid. Like, this team, the one weakness you could say for the defense is you really need, and I think this, to me, when people were talking about, Legion of Boom, Dark Side comparisons, that's the one thing the Legion of Boom had, is like maybe we didn't have a Myles Garrett, but we had a Michael Bennett, Cliff Averill, both miles above any edge rusher, pass rusher that we have on the edges. And that's the one thing this defense is missing. And if there is a chance to get a guy like like Max Crosby, who could be available for trade on a struggling Raiders team, I think you go ahead and make that move. I think that's
I'm
the
sure
one.
there's plenty more DNs we could target. That's just the first guy who came to mind, but it's
Well,
just
he's also been the one that's, first of all, one of the best edge rushers in the game, but also the one who's been floated around in trade talks all the time. So to me, I think Max Crosby would be a great fit, and that's the one weakness you could say for this dark side defense is the lack of a premier edge rusher, premier edge threat. And I don't know what free agency is looking like in terms of the edge market.
potentially could be draftable. I mean,
Could be
it's just
draftable. I haven't done a whole lot of like looking at defensive players in the draft yet, but like that's really kind of the one thing that's missing on this defense that's not great. You know,
We do have, like I said, we do have a lot of contracts coming up. That we got some big contracts we're gonna have to add. Like we got to pay Spoon pretty soon. We got a JSN pretty soon. Like K9. Like I feel like those are a lot of
dude,
names.
extend
So
them now. The price is
yeah,
only going up, man.
we're gonna have to pay
Get
Darnold a
them
lot
locked
more
in
too.
now. I think you get
Like
those guys locked in. I mean, we'll have a fucking free agency. Video
well,
once,
yeah,
but
we'll
just
have an
short,
off-season
just short thing.
episode, but
I don't want to keep Walker. I don't want to. You got to extend those two, Spoon and JSN, as quickly as possible.
right.
Quickly as possible.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and shift. We probably got about 20 minutes in this episode. Then we can keep talking as the game progresses, or as the big game gets closer and closer. But the Super Bowl 60 at the electrical substation, we are playing the New England Patriots, who, I mean, there have been plenty. They are honestly as doubted as us. They had a really easy schedule. First year coach Mike Vrabel, who's, first of all, I don't necessarily get the praise that much because he's already been a number 1 seed with the Tennessee Titans, but they have played. They were not the number 1 seed. They had to play some really tough defenses. Los Angeles. They had to play the Texans D and then fight tooth and nail with the Broncos defense, which is arguably one of the better defenses in the NFL. So they're not going to be an easy opponent, but you kind of think the foot is off the gas pedal just a little bit when comparing the Rams to the Patriots, but it's still going to be a hell of a game and a great Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah, and like for me, I'm excited. For me, this is the most ideal Super Bowl. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a Drake May guy. I love Drake May, especially, since he came from the same class as one Michael Penix Jr. Some conversations over the course of the last couple of years have had to be had, but I think realistically, the Patriots won't be able to establish the ground game. Ramondre Stevenson, Trayvon Henderson, there's not going to be room to run, and I think
I hope.
I think Drake May. I know. Given what just happened, it's could be hard to say that, but at the same time, like I view Ramondre Stevenson's explosiveness similar to like how I viewed CMC. Like I just don't think there's much there. Yeah, he's a thick boy. Maybe he gets 3 yards of carry just from falling over, but I don't think they'll be able to establish the run. I think you can get to Drake May. I think this offensive line has been putrid, and I also think Drake May in general just hasn't been. I mean, of course, like tough weather conditions, playing against, if not for the Seahawks, the best defense in the NFL, and the Texans, a top 3 defense in the NFL, and the Broncos on the road in horrible conditions. It certainly hasn't been easy. I'm not going to sit here and be like Drake May's had a horrible playoffs, but his accuracy hasn't been the same as it was, which was the best in the NFL this past year. I think Drake under pressure, I think it's going to be a long day for him. I don't think there's enough high-end talent on that offense to match what the dark side's got going on, because the Rams, you got Puka and Devontae. That's the best tandem in the league. You got a good running back core, great play caller. They just don't have all those things, man.
Well,
And
it's
that's
just
what
for
you need.
me.
That's
the
what you
concern-
need to score 27, 30 points in the Seahawks.
Right.
That's the only team outside of the Baker Linsani run that scored 30 plus in the Seahawks was that team. That's what it
For
takes
me, it's more the
to really
defense.
get at the dark side.
It's more the defense. Christian Gonzalez is one of the more smarter IQ corners in the league. He made that game-sealing interception in the AFC title. They have Robbie Spillane, who is just a demon at linebacker, Ernest Jones type. And then you have guys like Harold Landry that can get after the quarterback. I mean, we saw CJ Stroud absolutely melt down in the playoffs. I mean, and Justin Herbert, he didn't look sharp either. So, and you got to think that maybe those 2 quarterbacks are on the same level of Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's privy to obviously making mistakes when blitzed. So that kind of evens it out for me a little bit. It's just not how Drake May's been playing in the offense. It's more just how the defense has held their own in their own right. And Mike Vrabel, obviously not play calling the defense, but a defensive minded coach. He's going to probably be game planning a lot of how he can box in Sam Darnold and potentially our one-dimensional run game. So that being said, I don't have many doubts going into the game as of right now. I still think we will win. I still think we'll win, but it's gonna be more of a game than I think people expect. The public is already increasing our line from 3.5 to 4.5 in less than 24 hours. So I don't know. I think we're in for a little bit of a tougher challenge than we think.
And
The
then
thing
just
I
one
look
more.
at is when I look at the Patriots run, it's they play against Herbert, like put up nothing, right? CJ Stroud was literally playing for the Patriots in this game. And then Jarrett Stidham. And it's all 3 games. If a quarterback didn't make dumb mistakes, all those games are different. CJ Stroud put the ball on the ground more than he completed a pass. Jarrett Stidham, that fumble was painful. That pick at the end, painful. And then, like I said, Justin Herbert. And it's if Sam Darnold just keeps doing what he's done this whole playoff, so just don't make, I'm not even going to say don't make a boneheaded mistake. Don't make multiple boneheaded
melt down.
mistakes. Yeah,
Just
it's
don't
not
melt
even,
down.
you can make one. You probably can make 2. Just don't make a handful of boneheaded mistakes.
Make
And I'm
0.
very comfortable in this game.
Yeah, and the Patriots offense, like just one thing to kind of just play devil's advocate here is like you could argue, yeah, the Patriots have had one of the easier runs to get to the Super Bowl, but at the same time for that offense, how much more like battle tested could they really have been preparing for this moment?
100%.
They got the Chargers defense, that's a top 5 unit. Texans defense in bad playing conditions. Then you go to the Broncos in even worse playing conditions. They're a top 3 defense. So I think all this playoff run has done has exposed like the lack of how much Drake May truly has had to carry the shit out of that offense because they got no explosives in the run game. I know everyone's so hyped about Travion Henderson, but like, dude has the vision of Stevie Wonder. He can't hit a hole. He reminds me of like a very young Kenneth Walker, but even worse, like trying to bounce everyone on the outside when there's a clear hole up the middle. Stephon Diggs is he's solid, but he's not Stephon Diggs of old. And the other guys are just they're just guys. they're Jags. I think
Mac Hollins is not a Jag.
I think this playoff run has just exposed like how outmatched they are when they play against a defense with so much firepower, which they've done 3 times. But at the same time, how much more battle tested could you be? Like, yeah, of course you're playing the best defense in the NFL now, but you're going to be in good playing conditions. You've already gone through the gauntlet of defenses. I think they're going to be a lot more prepared. I don't think they'll be as bad as the offense has been for them in the playoffs up to this point. But in the end, I think the defense will still just be too much. And I think the Seahawks, I know the Patriots defensive unit has played well, but then again, like I don't want to be the nitpicker guy, but Justin Herbert never has performed in the playoffs. CJ Stroud, worst game that I've ever seen him play ever. And then Jarrett Stidham, who's probably, not even a top 40 quarterback in the league, So, Sam Darnold's a top 10 guy. The offense is humming. I think the Seahawks will ultimately get it done comfortably, but it's definitely not a game that you can overlook. And I'm so confident in the fact that Mike Macdonald will not let this team take the foot off the gas. Like,
Right.
no way.
And
No
it's another
fucking way.
huge thing. We have 2 weeks off, so it's 2 weeks to get healthier, but also that's kind of like retroactively coming off a bye, which is the Seahawks were fortunate to have a bye during the playoffs, then fucking cream the 49ers 41-6. And then during the bye, Mike Macdonald's been undefeated after a bye in his entire coaching career. So having that bye, having the game plan, I think it's great. Like I said, I think it's going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be as close as our last matchup with the Patriots, where we're facing Tom Brady and Gronk. But I do think it's going to be a great game. And hopefully, I'm very, very hopeful that the Seahawks can finish this storybook season. And potentially, I mean, right now, it's crazy, but the Seahawks and the Rams are already favored to win the Super Bowl in 2027. So it looks like next year we will be in store for another ride. We just need to know if luck and high playing performances are going to be on our side. But this should be a great one, and I'm really, really excited to be rooting for this team in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, all I got to say is I think the worst part about this Super Bowl is the fact that for the next 2 weeks we have to rewatch that interception at the goal line. That was the only thing I was.
It's
I was
perfect.
so
Right our wrongs. Let's just get this done.
But I was very much looking forward to if the Broncos could pull it off, having 2 weeks of watching when we beat them. Like that would have been a lot cooler than having to see the interception over and over and over and over and
I'm glad we get
over.
to get our get back though. And then, like I said, for me, I'm so happy. My goat Drake May made it to the Super Bowl in his second year. He's gonna get clattered probably, but he's 23 and the team around him sucks. So that's my easy cope right there for that. And the Seahawks win the Super Bowl. Well, it's a perfect outcome for me. I'm enjoying life right now, gentlemen. It's awesome.
Well, what a great spot.
Here's the question. Here's a question that I have to kind of wrap up the show. But before I wrap things up, J. Ross, did you have any final thoughts? Because I have a great question to end us off.
Okay. Well, since we're not doing Fire and Ice, I'm going to bring up one more thing because I have a bit of a big dilemma.
Okay.
This jersey I got for Christmas, right? Shout out Temu JSN jersey, electric.
Best $25 ever spent.
We have not lost a game that I've worn it yet. But because of that, I have not washed it yet because I don't want to ruin the juju.
Please don't wash it.
If we win the Super Bowl, am I never allowed to wash my shirt?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think you wash it until we confirm not win a Super Bowl. So until
we confirm lose a game.
Game or a Super Bowl? Because I'm like,
it's
a white shirt, and it is like it's not stinking.
Because you'll lose a game. You're guaranteed to lose a game. I wouldn't say that. I'd say if we're bouncing the playoffs next year, then you have permission to wash it. That's
my follow-up question. If we go undefeated, how bad of a spill can I wash this thing?
Don't spill.
Don't spill. Don't eat.
Don't spill. Don't spill anything on it.
Don't spill.
Also,
wear a poncho. Wear a clear poncho over it, and then it's just like a stain guard. Boom. Little chips and dip.
Don't be irresponsible and just down buffalo chicken wings while you're wearing that jersey. Just hang it up and then save it. Just don't wash it. Just hang it up and then put it back on.
I have had a similar thing as J. Ross. I've been wearing my 12 fan jersey that's Brody's color, and we haven't really lost. But last time I wore the throwbacks was the Buccaneers Linsanity game. So it's like I fucking love my throwback jersey, but I can never wear it, and I have to wear this fan jersey. So it's just I have been washing it.
This is the same problem, right? So what day are we on now? Yesterday, I had to go out earlier in the day, and I have the retro jersey. I wanted to wear it so bad, but because of luck, I had to go out wearing a Temu JSN jersey because I couldn't mix it up. It is the biggest dilemma of my life, but these are the sacrifices we have to make because I guarantee that when the Patriots are going on their run, their fans weren't switching up what jersey they were wearing. They were wearing the same jersey.
Dude, you want to know my gimmick? My gimmick has been wear 2 Seahawks jerseys, and then when you win, fall asleep in them the next night. And that's what I've been on for 2 weeks.
That's commitment.
I had my DK on underneath, and of course JSN on top. Won the game, slept in it after. And then put those 2 jerseys on the next game. And then that's what happened yesterday.
That's crazy.
That happened. I put my 2 jerseys on. We won. Fell asleep in them. And we'll continue to do the same.
And another thing, too, about just the way this season has gone is everyone's like, hey, we're in the Super Bowl. When's the Super Bowl party? No fucking parties. Okay, this is time to lock in. Hands on knees. Let's go win the championship. The Super Bowl parties are for when freaking dipstick Eagles and Chiefs are in it, and we get to I can't wait for the commercials and freaking Bad Bunny. No, this is serious. Lock in. I have 2 people coming over and their family, and that's it. No fucking all gas, no brakes, no tires, just fucking gas.
I'm gonna be locked in watching that game at like 3 a.m. probably in another country.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
and you don't want to freaking be like going to the veggie tray and having your freaking your mutual friend that your friend of a friend is coming over and being like, sports ball. No, fuck off. This is the
sports ball.
I swear to God, there's a handful of them.
You guys watch grown men just touch each other and play with balls? Shut up.
I'm here for the commercials, and he'll have it on his shirt. So
I'm here for Bad Bunny. personally.
But okay, as we're wrapping up, just want to let the fans know J. Ross and I. Brody is heading overseas for a little vacation. Is it an ill-timed vacation? I'm not sure. Hopefully, he can just party it up.
When I agreed to go to this place and bought the tickets, did I realize the Super Bowl would be during that time? No, I did not check. That's on me.
Right.
So
it'll be
that's just not commitment. That's
and knowing the fact that the Seahawks were going to make it, I should have done better. That's on me.
Me and Fatty were actually going to go on a European trip together this week.
Right.
But then 8 months ago, we were like, Super Bowl. No.
Yeah, they're
right.
just
Super Bowl.
Better
of
men
course
than
not.
me.
But so it'll be me and J. Ross for a little bit. We're going to do a half episode later this week to cover all the other Seattle teams. But we felt like this episode was supposed to be dedicated. Obviously, we'll keep prepping the Super Bowl as the news and media day comes out. But here's my question to end it off. Okay. The Sounders had a pretty productive season, but more so, the Seahawks are in the Super Bowl and the Mariners made it to Game 7 of the ALCS. My immediate worry is it ever going to get better than this in 1 year? Is it ever going to get better than this? Or are we just, this is it? Is this peak? Like,
dude,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, in the same calendar, let's just basically call it calendar year.
Yeah, sports
Sounders
calendar.
win the Leagues Cup final at home against Leo Messi. The Mariners almost make it to a World Series. Cal Raleigh, MVP type season, 60 bombs. And then the Seahawks potentially win the Super Bowl. This might be peak. So enjoy it while it lasts.
This is the start.
Is it peak or are we going to become a title town?
We're a title town. We said this. Let's bring back Fatty's quote. First time? Yeah, 100%. This is the start of Seattle becoming a title town.
I mean, it's not like we're going to just fall off next year immediately. It's just like I don't know. I don't know if all the teams will do this good at once. Two Seattle teams winning silverware, and then the Mariners getting very damn close. Which at the same time, like with the Dodgers, how they are, it's gonna be tough for them to win.
It's something Seattle's getting used to. People, like cities like Boston and LA, they're used to having multiple teams being super competitive. This is new for us, guys. I'm sorry. This is new for us to be championship level caliber, at the same time. So, it's a lot. But
what would truly make it peak is if in the NBA offseason meetings in 2026 they agree to have an expansion and bring Seattle.
Or the Mariners just pull their heads out of their asses and freaking win the World Series in the same calendar year, and then we just explode. But the Sonics being back would be cinema. It's absolute cinema.
That would be cinema, man. Oh my God, please.
But the caveat is,
I'm sorry, I would sacrifice the Kraken for the Sonics. I really would.
No, dude,
someone had to
that
say,
would knock us down a peg, though. It's like the Seahawks, the Mariners, the Sounders, the Kraken are building, and then all of a sudden we have a fucking NBA team with like fucking Josh Giddey on it as the star. Like that would be terrible.
We would be getting Zach LaVine would be our guy.
And that's terrible.
That's
he's
what we'd be looking at.
And we get Michael Porter Jr., who's also buns. So it's just like we'd probably sign Isaiah Thomas to
Michael Porter Jr. would be like the gimmick, like, oh, he played at Nathan Hill High School. Look, he'd be a homegrown guy. Oh, the fans would eat it up, dude. He'd be the rock.
So
of the Sonics,
hopefully we can cover Sonics at one point during this podcast. But I think this is going to be it for this episode. Guys, any final thoughts before we shift into the week and enjoy the Super Bowl festivities? Like I said, J. Ross and I will be doing a half episode wrapping up the other teams later on. But guys, what do we got?
I'm going to be watching a lot of film this week, studying up. If you fail to prepare, you'll prepare, but you prepare to fail. And so I'll be studying the Patriots the rest of the week, probably watching all their games while Brody goes and drinks German beers and eats bratwursts all day. I'll be in the lab studying.
Look, I'm just going to say this, people. Just, the LeBron meme, I can't believe this is my life, corny picture. Just soak it all in. Just soak it all in, man. The Seahawks really fucking did it. We actually did it. We made it to the Super Bowl after everyone doubted us. Everyone told us, you're going to be 7-10. You're going to be 8-9. You're going to finish behind the Arizona fucking Cardinals. For goodness sake. Jeez. And we did it. 14-3. We're in the Super Bowl. Job's not finished, but we made it there. Just enjoy the next 2 weeks, fellas. I'm sure the Rams and the Niners will enjoy flag football. Sounds like a hoot. We will not be there, but sounds like a hoot.
All right. Well, boys, thanks for tuning in. Do not forget to like and subscribe everything. Fatty, I'm going to keep talking, so you have to keep your hand up like that as long as possible. We are officially a Wednesday pod every Wednesday, but also, like Fatty said, later this week, expect one more round of podcasts from me and Fatty, a little solo show talking everything else around Seattle sports. But for now, boys, we will see you later.
Boom.